Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the best bags that I own under £500. I have done a variation of this video before where I generally look at what's on the market, but for this video I'm exclusively looking within my own collection, and I am splitting the video into three parts. So the first part are my favorite bags under £500, which I think represent amazing value for money. The second part are the bags which still under that price mark, but which I don't necessarily think do represent great value for money. And the third part of the video are going to be the bags which I still like, but in hindsight weren't great purchases. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get started. So first up is a clutch, and this is from the brand Caillou, which I don't even know that much about, but I do know that the pieces that I have from them I really like. I also have a tote bag as well, but this clutch is so great and it became such a favorite for me. This is priced at £185 and it's just really great for what it is. You know, this isn't supposed to be a all year round clutch. You know, for me this is very much a summer holiday or maybe even a summer wedding bag, but for what it is I just think it does the job very, very well. I love the look of it. It does have that kind of straw wicker finish, and on the clasp you do just have these beautiful, it's kind of like a jewel effect, and it's coated with gold. So really lovely. It opens really easily as well, and then it also snaps shut easily. So it's a very easy bag to maneuver. And then on the inside you also have a chain, and then you do have a fairly wide open space along with a little pocket and a little Caillou symbol right there. And I think this is so great. It's not the cheapest in terms of this kind of bag because the materials, you know, aren't particularly luxurious. We're not talking leather here, but I still do think it looks much fancier than it is. One of my guy friends and Dan like to play a game whenever we go out to dinner, which is guess the price of Amy's handbag. I didn't realize this, but I went to the bathroom one time we were at dinner and I came back and they were trying to guess how much this was. And I think they were guessing like £800 or £900. And it's 185, and you know, they don't buy too many bags themselves, so that probably had an impact, but I do still think it looks way more expensive than it is, and I think it's a beautiful clutch. So I've had only very, very good experiences with this brand, and this is definitely a favorite for me. And next up is of course my Tory Burch Tote. There was no way I was going to get through this video without mentioning one. If you've been following my channel for a while, you will know how much I love the Tory Burch Totes. I swear by them all day long because I think they look great. They're priced very well, the quality is good, the comfort factor is great, and I just love pretty much everything about them. So this is the newer design with the triple compartment. I don't think that they do this particular color anymore, which is the light blue, but they do so many different color combinations and they're always releasing new ones. And this one, I think it's priced at $350 kind of regular price, but you can find these on sale. So I think I got this one for 40% off, I want to say, maybe it was 30% off, but it's definitely possible to get these at a discount, and if you can, they represent even better value for money. They are so great, they last and last, and I just love the look, and I think the new design is just very minimal, it's very chic, and I just can't say enough good things. And I've never known anyone to own one of these and not like it. You know, I often hear grumblings about every brand really, and I've never heard one person say anything bad about the Tote. So huge fan, I think they're great. But I also wanted to do a quick shout out to the McGraw tote as well, which I'm also a huge fan of, and I don't know if they still do this particular tote style, but they do a very similar variation which has a little ring, which I think is super pretty as well. But generally the McGraw line is great, the leather is lovely, and I wanted to specifically call this one out because I think this could quite possibly be my most comfortable tote bag ever. It is so, so great. So if I know I have to carry a lot of stuff, this is what I'll reach for if I'm not reaching for a Neverfull. And even then, I think that this is probably more comfortable than my Neverfull. The straps are great. They seem to be the perfect thickness, and the leather is just so smushy and comfortable. It's just wonderful. So if you stumble across one of these, maybe pre-loved, or if you like some of the newer variations, I would definitely recommend the McGraw. It has a slightly different look to the Tote, which I love as well, and they're just the best bags. And on the subject of tote bags, I also had to include my Kate Spade Molly tote, which I have been really, really enjoying. I was asked which I prefer out of this and the Tory Burch. I believe that the Kate Spade is a little bit cheaper, especially if you can get it on discount as well. So I do think that the prices reflect the quality, because I do think that the Tory Burch Perry tote is slightly better quality. Don't know if you'll be able to see that, but certainly in the first video I showed, I could see a few little dents, and to be honest, they're not noticeable in real life. They seem to be picked up more on camera. In fact, I'm not sure you can see that now, but this leather does seem to dent slightly more, but I also really kind of put this bag through the ringer. I packed it full of stuff. It really carried just so much. So I do want to kind of keep that in mind, but I do still think this is a beautiful option for a tote. I have really been enjoying mine. The color selection is also great. So they do so many different shades. I love the little Kate Spade logo. It's very minimalistic. You know, the lining is just very simple. It's just this beautiful kind of microfiber. You do get the pouch as well, which I really love. Here is a USB thing. To the side, but you do get a pouch, which is really great as well. And I just think for the money, this is a really lovely option. So very simple, very cute, great color option. So I do love this. If I was still gonna pick, I'd probably still go for the Tory Burch Perry, but it is a pretty close call. Next up is my Senreve Aria bag, and this is actually a belt bag. I don't wear it like that though. I only really wear this as a crossbody or even as a clutch without any kind of straps or chains, but obviously you can wear this as a belt bag if you wanted to. I specifically got this as a travel bag. I wanted something that was going to be very robust and durable. I have traveled with delicate bags before, and I just don't think it's worth it. You know, traveling is quite stressful anyway, and so the last thing I also want to worry about is whether I'm going to damage my bag. So I knew I wanted to look at Senreve because their leathers are just so durable and hard wearing. They're pretty much indestructible, and this is so great. It's so light, which makes for a very comfortable bag. I have the chain here, so I did have to buy the chain separately. The bag itself came to, so my converted price was £350. I think the US dollar price is around the $400 mark, but in GBP it converts to about 350. But I did have to buy the chain separately. Just going to attach it, and so I just attach it around about there, and then it just converts very easily into a crossbody. So I love this to bits. It's done so well for me. It actually fits a surprising amount as well. It's actually very roomy for what is a very tiny bag, I guess because of this big open space. And they do have a great zipper pocket with that beautiful smooth zipper, and it does go all the way down. And then on the other side you also have some card slots as well. So it's very functional. You can pack a lot in. They come in a whole bunch of different colors as well. I obviously went for this beautiful deep red, which I love. I think this is my favorite color from them, and I just think this is great. So for the price and the leather quality that you're getting, I just don't think you go wrong. I am going to try and pick up the pace because I feel like this video is already getting quite long and I'm not even through my first category yet. But I also wanted to mention backpacks. So I have two backpacks. This one is from Rebecca Minkoff, and I also have one from Marc Jacobs, which I wanted to show, but I couldn't find it. I have been dashing around this morning trying to, but I will try and find it after this video and insert a kind of clip of it because that's probably my favorite one. I also love this, but it's a bit more loud and out there, and I'm not entirely sure if they still sell this. But this one did do me really well. I think this one was a little bit cheaper. I got it on sale at Shopbop, and it's just very kind of cute and functional. Love a bit of leopard print. The Marc Jacobs one is great as well. That was actually the first kind of mini backpack I bought, or actually any backpacks. I don't own any others, but I bought it specifically to go to Disney. They are great for theme parks because they're so comfortable. They're very cute because they are more on the mini side, and they're just very functional because you can fit so much in. So I fit in my water bottle, a sweater for later, any snacks, usually some Disney ears when they begin to hurt, sunglasses, lip balm, just kind of all your essentials along with money and phone. But they fit so much, they're so comfortable. They're usually waterproof as well, which is great if you're going to get wet during the day. And yeah, I think these are fantastic. So I've been very happy with mine. Definitely worth getting a good bag for kind of occasions like that. They work as good travel bags as well, and I just love mine. So definitely a worthy inclusion. I've been super happy with both of mine, and they're just very functional. And next up are two of my more recent additions. I have my Saint Laurent Uptown clutch and also my Strathbury in the white. I've mentioned these in quite a few recent videos, so I will keep this brief, but I think for the price, the Saint Laurent Uptown clutch is fantastic. £300, I don't think you can go wrong. It's very, well, I do want to say it's functional because it does the job. You can't fit in a load in, clearly. It's a very slim clutch, but I think for the price, you're getting a very nice bag still. I can fit in my phone, I can fit in a lipstick, some money, and a little comb, which I always use as well. And that's really all I need for an event or a night out. So it does the job for me. Their next kind of price up, I think, is like $790 for a kind of proper little clutch. And this does the job almost as well. And certainly for the price, I think this is a better buy. So definitely one of my best bag purchases under £500. I think it's great, and it's just such a great style from Saint Laurent. And my final bag for this category is my Strathberry Nano, which I have spoken about a fair bit recently, but I love this bag. I think it's so, so great. I have detailed my niggles with it as well, which is that the bar design doesn't make it that easy to access. But on balance, I am happy to have that there because I just think it's what makes the design so unique, and I feel like it's a bit soon to say the word iconic, but it is very distinctive and it's what makes the Strathberry design stand out. So I like the bar, but the flip side of that is that it's not a super easy to access bag. But apart from that, I think it's great. I think it's beautiful quality, and I do think that you can feel the quality as well. I was asked by someone whether I thought this was a better buy or the Furla Metropolis. I have owned the Furla Metropolis before and I sold it. And whilst I don't think it's a terrible bag, it can get a little bit uncomfortable, especially because there's no leather bit on the chain like you do get with the Strathberry. And I just don't feel like when I felt the bag, it felt like super luxurious quality, whereas I do feel like that's the case with the Strathberry. And the Strathberry is more expensive, so that probably explains it, but the leather just feels really nice. I think it's well designed. You can fit a decent amount in. Even the interior, like, it just feels like a very, very nice interior, and those little details matter. So for me, it would be the Strathberry Nano all day long. I really love the look of it. It comes in quite a few different colors. The price is fairly reasonable as well. I think it's $325, so definitely still a luxury bag, but a really kind of perfectly formed style. And I do think you get good quality for your money. My next two categories are more on the small side, so I don't have nearly as many bags in these. I have 2 bags in this category and then I think 2 in the next category, but this one is bags that I love but which I don't think represent the best value for money. So first up is a bag which I have also talked about a bit, but it is my Saint Laurent pouch, which I do really, really like, so I definitely couldn't put it in a worst category or anything like that. But I think that there are better value options. Specifically, I think that the Uptown clutch probably makes for a much better buy. This one is almost £500 and its usage is limited. You know, it is a wristlet, it can fit a decent amount, but I don't think it's actually as versatile as the Uptown clutch. You can fit a little bit more, but to be honest, not a huge amount more. You do have more card slots, which is great, but I just think that they priced this a little bit too high. You know, I think if they'd done this just under 400, it would be much better value, but it is closer to 500. So I really like it, and if you fell in love with the style, I do still think it's a good buy, but I do think that there are better value for money options out there. And my next bag, I have kind of 2 bags from the same brand and very, very similar, obviously. These are my 2 Lula Johnson bags, and I love Lula Johnson. I love the entire brand so much, and if I was a gazillionaire, I would dress head to toe in Lula Johnson all day long. I think her designs are so beautiful and whimsical, and I just love them so much. So I have 2 bags from her. One is this kind of almost kind of picnic basket bag style, and I also have this more rounded one. I definitely prefer the basket bag just because you can barely fit anything in here. It's quite an awkward shape, but I do think that the overall style of her bags are so adorable and cute. But I would say that they're probably only worth it if you really, really like Lula Johnson. These are priced at around about the £450 mark, so maybe a bit less, but around that kind of price range. And even though I like them and I do think that they're well made, they are still essentially basket or wicker bags, and you are just going to be able to find a cheaper version at Mango or Zara or something like that. So if you're a fan of the brand, then, you know, you might still want to get them, as I am, because I am really happy with mine. But I do think that the style is easily replicated and there's nothing super iconic about the bags that would justify the price tag in my view. So love, but perhaps not the best value for money bags out there. And finally, for my last category, I have bags which I like, but in hindsight weren't the best purchases, mainly because of the style. One of them is more of a quality issue, but these are the bags which I think are on the kind of more worse end of my purchases, under £500. So my first one is my Mansa Gabrielle bag, which I'm very sad about because I love the design. I think it's really beautiful and I think it's really different as well. I have mentioned before my little kind of quality niggles, which is that the zip isn't very seamless, so it kind of gets jammed in one area and it kind of requires quite a bit of tugging to basically loosen it up, and you can't even see that when it's closed, but it's definitely not a seamless zipper. And for me, the quality of a zip matters. I think it speaks to the quality of the bag in general. So when there's a bit of a clunky zipper, it does take some wiggling. It does kind of affect my view of the bag, and because of that I just haven't really used it that much. It is more of a quirky design anyway. You can wear this crossbody, so it does have a little strap, and I do enjoy the bag because it is so different from everything else I own. It has that beautiful kind of vintage look, but it's not that practical anyway, and that's not helped by the fact that the zipper takes a little bit of working. So in hindsight, this probably wasn't worth the money. I think this is a little bit over £500 anyway, but I did get this with a discount code, and these do frequently go on sale / are included in discount codes, which is why I thought to include it. So yeah, bit of a mixed bag. I do still definitely like it, but in hindsight, I definitely couldn't say this was a super successful purchase for all the reasons I named. And for my very last bag pick, I have my Pauline bag, and I've kind of had a checkered history with Pauline, I feel, but I would say that I don't feel like this was the best buy. I kind of wanted to try out the brand, and I think that's why I probably settled for this style. Not settled, because I do like it, but I just haven't gotten a lot of use out of it. Generally, I will always pick a larger bag, and I also don't love the kind of way it closes, because when you close it and it just kind of closes with this leather strap through the loop, it doesn't always, it can open up a little bit, and I just wish that the strap stood a little bit more upright. And obviously that would change the design, but I don't love the way it kind of just opens up by itself. Like, that bothers me a little bit, especially because there's no button or any other kind of closure, so your items are a little bit exposed, and because it is such a shallow bag, it's just very easy to grab things from it. So I haven't had any issues in terms of items being stolen, but it's definitely something that I'm aware of. You can fit your phone in, which is good, but it is a little bit of a maneuvering job, so you kind of have to fit it in diagonally and then push it back, or at least that's how I do it. So again, not a super seamless one. And in terms of the leather, I do think that it's actually very nice quality, but I just don't think it's the most functional of bag designs. So again, a little bit of a mixed bag. I don't tend to reach this very much, but I would say that it definitely hasn't put me off the brand. And this is with the knowledge that I didn't really get on with their larger style, but I have seen one new release from them, which I think is so, so beautiful. I think this is their numero set, so like the number 7 style from them. And it's pretty different from everything else that they're doing, but I just thought it was stunning. It's definitely a mini bag, but it has that beautiful chain along with the shoulder strap, so hopefully very comfortable. And I just thought this was lovely. So if I go to Paris again anytime soon, I'm definitely going to stop by their boutique again and see if they have one to try on, because I do think it looks beautiful. This style didn't particularly work, but as I mentioned, I do think that the quality is really lovely. Even like the little details like the Pauline on the hardware, beautiful hardware, and it's just done very nicely. And I do like the fact that their bags are very different looking as well, so they're not just going for tried and tested styles, which I think is great. So yeah, so maybe not the most individually successful style, but as I mentioned, it definitely hasn't put me off the brand. I do think that they produce very, very lovely styles. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave links to all the bags I featured in the description section below, but if you do have any other questions for me, then leave me a comment. If you enjoy handbag comparison videos, please do give this a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.